Hello, welcome to PokéBoys. My name is Mike, and I'm joined by my aggressively mediocre producer, Dad, and our other special co-host this season, streamer extraordinaire, Kumino. And we're here for episode 2 of our season on Pokemon Bushido. And we're super excited. I had a blast with chapter 2 here. But before we get into it, Dad, how are you doing tonight?
I'm the only one brave enough to show my face.
Yes.
I'm doing well. Yeah, excited to talk about
Good,
this.
good, good. Kumino, sir.
Yes, I'm doing well. I'm just in the middle of moving, so the wall and stuff behind me is very naked right now. So don't want to showcase,
Yes,
just naked white wall.
I get that. Yeah, we so I have my in-laws are in town from out of state
Out
this
of
week.
space.
Out of space. They actually came in from outer space. No, they're in from out of state. They're staying with us this week. So, yeah, I've been relocated to our patio outside. So if you hear the wind rustling the palm leaves, I'm sorry. It is a little windy tonight, but we'll make do. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are doing well. I'm excited to get into chapter 2 here. Um,
Oh
Leadership and
yes.
Dishonor. That is the title of the chapter in game, and that is what we'll be talking about tonight. Um, Super excited, Dad. Initial thoughts, like just the most basic without getting into much detail. How did you like chapter 2?
I really liked it. um, got to do a lot of stuff. Explored a little bit.
Indeed, indeed.
Um, caught some pokes.
Nice.
Um, yeah, man, I had a blast. It was great.
Kumino, how was your experience in chapter 2 here?
Oh, it was. It went by too fast for me. That that was my take on it because I enjoyed it so much. Like the twist and the surprise. It was nice.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Went way too fast. I started my play, so as you guys know, listeners, we record every other week, and we release the episodes in the week in between our recordings. So, um, I started my play of chapter 2 way too soon, and I finished it like 4 or 5 days ago, maybe. Um, and
Hmm.
I could not get enough. So we'll get into what I ended up doing in the in between time between finishing chapter 2 and us recording tonight. But yeah, like you guys, really enjoyed chapter 2. I really like the story so far. I like how it's presented. Um, in terms of some of the other fan games that I've played, which I've played a few, not like a million, but definitely more than a couple. And so far, I'd say this has been one of the most well crafted narratives of a fan game I've played. And I'm so excited to see where it goes. Real quick, though, before we jump into details, I posted a poll on our Spotify release of episode 1 and also posted a poll on our YouTube community page. So if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube or if you're not following us on Spotify, please do those things. But I asked everyone what starter Pokemon they chose, and we got a good amount of votes in. And the leader, Dad, you're gonna be proud. Fennekin picked by 43% of our YouTube poll,
That's right.
with Trico coming in second place with 29% on YouTube. Actually, I guess it was a tie between Treco and Oshawott because both are sitting at 29% on YouTube. and both at 50% on Spotify. So look at there you go.
Right, and he throws a Fennekin.
Yeah,
right.
so
Right.
Fennekin, the most picked starter out of our audience. And you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Kumino, are you surprised? Fire is by far the most popular type, I believe.
Well, it definitely was the one to add the most type diversity for the starters. So I'm not too surprised, but I'm still saddened that my boy Trico did not pull through for the victory.
Hey, you know what? He pulled through for you though, and that's all that matters, right?
That's right.
All right. So chapter 2, we pick up right from where we left off in chapter 1. Sorry, a little coffee cough here. So the Akui clan had just kind of like raided our ceremony. I'm calling it our sorting ceremony, where we were being placed into the different clans. And what is the main bad guy's name? Mashiro. Mashiro had just turned a bunch of the Pokemon from that ceremony into Shadow Pokemon, including our rivals, Darumaka. So that's obviously was quite shocking, and kind of bounced, and then that's kind of where we ended. So we pick up, and we were told that we needed to go down to Tsuchi Village to talk to the Komorei Clan Leader down there. So we make our way down. On my journey, I decided to immediately take a detour
Same.
and go catch a Riolu.
Attaboy.
I've never used a Riolu or a Lucario, and I could not. After a few battles, I was like, man, this Tyrogue, like its moveset sucks right now, and I don't know if I can like grind out this terrible moveset for however long it takes to evolve. So I went and I ground. I'm going to use that grinded
Ground.
and I ground uh, the Shizen Trail or Sakura Trail for that blasted shaking grass for what seemed like days. And finally caught a Riolu. I named it Genghis, and I replaced Amora, the Tyrogue. While I was grinding, I ended up also catching a Happiny and named it Lady Sanjo, sticking with the Ghost of Tsushima naming convention. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's Sakura Pass. And then I moved on. But Jeff, you said that you didn't immediately head down to Tsuchi Village. What did you do?
So I went to the left,
Yeah.
to the sea.
Oh, and surfed with your cheater hacks.
Right, the master of.
Can we just talk about that for a
Nobody else
second?
is able to surf.
I don't know. I was able to do it like right away,
bro.
like right because when you're in the first section.
Okay, you see
beginning.
how Cloth looks on my screen? That is my reaction when you said you surfed. That's literally what I did.
That was all of our.
What do you mean? Cloth. I don't know. I unless this version had some kind of a cheat system in it when I got it, I don't know. But yeah, man, I was able to surf.
So you went out to the sea? Did you actually surf somewhere? I was just kind of joking around.
Well, yeah. I was very disappointed because I was not even like almost level 20, but not quite. And these Pokemon, like, because you were doing like other trainer battles, it wasn't just like wild encounters.
Mm-hmm.
They were like level 40 something. I'm like,
yeah, because you're not supposed to be out there yet, sir.
Well, I didn't know. Like, I was like, Oh, why not? I'm allowed to surf on water. Um, so I did it. So and then once I encountered that first trainer battle, I was like, no, I'm not doing that again. So I did what you did and went back. Well, I don't know if it was at the beginning, but I was. Yeah, grinding does sound kind of weird.
Yeah, see, but ground also sounds equally as weird.
So I went around the grass.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I caught anything though, because maybe I did. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. There's so many that I caught. I can't remember what section I was in that I caught them. I had a Riolu.
Nice, nice.
I think I did go back to catch him because on my first playthrough on the computer,
You
I
you
caught
had
him.
knocked him out, right?
I caught him right away. Yeah,
Mm, okay.
like maybe one of the first that I caught. So I went back um, to catch him because I wanted him because you guys were talking him up.
Mm,
Um, but I think my team was pretty much full at that point.
okay. Do you want to?
Riolu.
You guys want to do a quick recap of our teams after the end of episode 1? Do you guys have? I'll go through mine real quick if you guys are able to find yours. If not, it's fine. But after chapter 1, I had Ghost Jin, my Oshawott, Kenji, my Routes, Bartu, my Pancham, Amura, my Tyrogue, Nala, my Litleo, and Gyozin, my Toxel. While Jeff's looking that up, Kumino, do you recall your team after chapter 1, and then take us into kind of what you did, if you did anything before heading into the Shizen Forest?
Okay, yeah. I got my team right here written down. It was
Nice,
Paul the Lucario, Zoro the Grovile, Nami the Purloin, Leo the Cutie Fly, Krieg the Galarian Slowpoke, and Southbird the Trumbeak.
nice, nice. Solid team, solid team.
Right. But after I started back up, I realized that there were some Pokemon out there that I had completely missed. So I went in search of a Froakie, but I ended
Oh,
up finding a Ralts that I named Viola.
Nice.
Um, and then I went to the Tuschi Shrine,
Yeah, yeah.
and I found the Serene Grace Togepi that I named Big News. So that
that's
was very
awesome.
awesome for
what
me.
does Serene Grace do?
Serene Grace, it ups the percentage of the secondary effect. If the secondary effect is something like
Oh,
raise the user stats, lower the opponent's stats, or make
okay.
the opponent flinch.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
yeah, so like the big move that is known with a Serene Grace Togepi is Air Slash. Air Slash
Oh,
already has
yeah, yeah.
it has a 30% chance of causing the flinch. So you double that, making it 60. You slap a King Rock onto that sucker,
That's insane.
and it goes through the roof. So you can
That's cool.
cause flinch hacking the entire time with a Togepi.
That's literally insane.
Right. But then I spent about another 20 minutes or so grinding up Togepi, giving it miso so so it could hurry up and evolve. I ended up coming across a Froakie that I named Yokozuna.
Nice. So you caught Froakie. Oh, hold on. Big wind gust.
Right, definitely, definitely. But with Togepi and Froakie, I got rid of Nami the Purloin and Southbird the Trumbeak because I just felt like I wanted to use Togepi, and Froakie being a ninja actually kind of fits the aesthetic a lot better.
Right? Yeah. Where did you catch Froakie? In the shrine?
No, I caught Froakie in Sakura Forest.
Really?
I mean, Sakura Path. There we go.
Shaking grass? Or just like a really low percent encounter?
Really low percent encounter.
Oh, dang, dude. That's sweet. Froaky's
Because
awesome.
when I found it, like I said, like I was worried about Togepi, like trying to I was running back and forth to the village to try to get more slowpoke tails. And just you know, just running around leveling and stuff of that nature. And it popped out. So I was happy.
Dang, that's pretty rad. Man, I did not know Froakie was in this game. But I'm glad he is, because you're right. Ninja, I mean, it just makes sense.
Right.
Jeff, did you find your team from chapter 1?
I believe so. So I had Fennekin, obviously. Pichu. I want to say I had Nickit, because you get him right after that.
Oh,
whole-
yeah, you catch him from the... Yeah.
Um, and I'm not sure if I caught Cherubi before or after that. After that, chapter 1. And then my Eevee. Oh, no, I had a Pancham.
Oh, yeah, you were talking
Cherubi.
about how much you're enjoying Pancham.
He's very cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's my team.
Nice. So we make our way down through the Shizen Forest, and
I
there
still
were-
didn't.
you know what, Venom. Okay, talk us through what you did before the forest, because that's where we're going next.
So I was circling around trying to level up my pokes in the beginning, because I figured I'd have to, right? Because we're going into a bigger, we're advancing the story, so it just makes sense that I need to level up these guys. So I caught a few more, Cherubi being one of them. And I went back to that freaking cave because I wanted some rock type pokes, which I'm trying to remember. There's a dog one. I know.
Rockruff.
Yes,
Awesome.
Rockruff.
Awesome poke. Love Rockruff.
I think there was another one, but I did spend some time in the cave to try to find some of those, because those usually annoy me.
Did you use Flash?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But
it didn't help me that though, because I couldn't break any of the freaking rocks.
True. Did you catch a Dwebble? It's a pretty cool rock bug type, and they are in that cave.
I know I came across one.
If you've seen us spouting the propaganda in Discord, trust in the crust, Dwebble evolves into Crustle.
Oh, yeah.
And I ended up using a Crustle in season 1, and actually like fell in love with that Pokemon. It was really good.
A Dwebble?
Yeah, Dwebble and its evolution, Crustle.
Yep, I did get Dwebble. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of what I named him. It was something stupid. So I started with the whole samurai naming system, and then I started naming them after my kids, and then I just started naming them just stupid names, like the name, some with the name with the chew at the end of it, like I tried to make you
classic.
Or like I caught a Passimian. I don't know how you say it.
Passimian.
I changed his name to Pacifist.
Nice.
Which is hilarious because it's a fighting type.
Right.
I thought that was pretty fun. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I caught in that section.
Nice. Are we ready to get into the forest yet?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like I caught a cutie pie. Cutie pie.
Cutie pie.
I think that's what I named it.
I was gonna say,
pie.
if you didn't name it that, then you failed. because that's hilarious.
I think that's it.
Awesome. So we head down south from Hagane City into Shizen Forest, and like I believe it was Venom who said in Discord, shout out 2 episodes in a row, Venom. I think it was him or is Jared. I don't remember. One of them was like, "Holy cow! There's about 30,000 trainers in this forest," and they
Yeah,
were
that
at
was Jared.
yeah.
Oh
There
man.
was literally like 100 trainers in this forest, and it kind of sucked for me because if you remember from chapter 1, I had swapped my team around so much that I was pretty underleveled at the end of chapter 1, and trying to make my way through this forest was kind of brutal at first. So the first few trainers were tough battles. I mean, I still won, but they were very tough. So I spent some time grinding in the beginning of the forest, and here is where things started to dramatically change for me and my team. And if you're in our Discord, you may have seen me talk about how excited I am for my team now, and that had a lot to do with Shizen Forest. So one of my first catches, I caught a Corvus Squire, and uh, Corviknight is such a coolly designed Pokemon. And if you recall from season 1, I happen to have a massively OP steel flying type called Lemon Pepper, which I'm glad Jared's not here because if he would have heard me say Lemon Pepper, he would have like immediately went into one of those like nom flashback like gifs, you know. Um, so of course I see Corviknight or Corvisquire. I'm like, I gotta catch this, and I'm putting it on the team. So I caught it. I named it Jinroku, and as quickly as Riolu was added to the team, he was replaced because we get the steel type with Corviknight, and I already have some fighting on the team already. So
Mhm.
sadly, Riolu is replaced, but happily with a Corvisquire that's going to be a Corviknight. And by the way, this Corvisquire is pretty strong. Like he carried me through a lot of these battles through the forest here. Um, Plus, I figured that you guys, I know Kumino is going to be using Lucario, obviously, but I figured uh, Dad would also be using Lucario, so I didn't want to like triple up on the same Pokemon. So
But
he
he's
got
so great.
replaced. He is though. He is. It was tough, but somebody had to go, and unfortunately, it was him. But like I said, had to do some grinding because I was under leveled. During this grinding, Ghost Jin evolved into Duat, which is nice. I caught a Shroomish that I named Cross after Ugly Kid Joe Cross because he uh, ended up falling in love with Breloom during his stream of this gym of mine. Second time we've mentioned this gym of mine in this season. Um, so in honor of Joe Cross, I of course had to name him Cross, and I really, really, really wanted to add Shroomish to the team, but I didn't know who I would replace because again, I already have Bartu, my Pancham, and Kenji, my routes that I'm eventually going to evolve into Gallade. So that right there are 2 fighting types, and you know, Breloom becomes a grass fighting type. So there's just no room for another fighting type. But the one Pokemon that I was so excited to catch and add to the team was Impidimp. Never used this line before, but its typing is so cool. Fairy Dark, and its visual design is super awesome. Its final evolution, Grimmsnarl, is like so rad looking.
And
So I
it's a
caught
beast.
this.
It hit like a truck.
Yes. So I caught Impidimp, named it Akita, and I ended up, spoiler alert, we'll just get out of the way. I ended up putting it on the team by the end of chapter 2, but at this point, I still wasn't sure who I would replace. So it wasn't quite on the team yet. But at this point, I'm sorry, I'm kind of taking a little while to get through my forest, but a lot happened for me. So at this point, Kumino, this is when you posted in Discord that you caught your Togepi. So I was like, you know what? I need a redemption run. Just out of principle, I need to go and catch a Togepi and just so I can fully evolve it after the complete tragedy that happened in season 2. So I
Right.
go
You
back.
got to get revenge.
Exactly. So I go back to the shrine. I finally catch a Togepi. I named it Seal in honor of my Togepi from season 2. It's not going to be on the team because, again, I don't like to do a lot of type overlapping, and so far my team has quite a bit of that already. And I already have a flying type, and I already have a fairy type. So, as much as I would love to use Seal because Togekiss is awesome, he can't be on the squad at the moment. While I was hunting for my Togepi in the shrine, I ended up catching a Farfetch'd. I named it Ichiro, and it's Galarian Farfetch'd, which I didn't know, which is neat because it's a strictly fighting type instead of flying. Make my way back to the forest, and I run into an Absol. I caught it, named it Moon. Um, and as I'm, strolling through, battling trainers, trying to get out of the forest, the Akui Kenshi ambushed me out from the treetops.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess we'll just pause here because we get this kind of advances the story ish. Kumino, can you let us know how your journey through the forest up to this ambush went?
Okay, well, after I did the team swap, I struck out to head to Tsuchi Village, but I stopped in the house that was south of the main city,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a retired Kenshin in there that gives you a lucky egg. So that came in clutch with my leveling.
Oh, nice.
All right, and then on the on she's in there we go. She's in trail. Big news, the Togepi finally evolved into Togetic while, just taking advantage of higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
I caught the overworld Shinx and
Oh,
named it
nice,
Pedro.
nice.
Uh,
Nice.
and then Yokozuna evolved into Frogadier. And in the forest, my God, so many trainers. Like it
Yes.
wasn't really a issue in terms of like hard battles because as you guys know, in which I'm pretty sure the chat is gonna eat me alive, I'm kind of over leveled. So I mainly focused on Frogadier and Togetic and had them to handle most of the battles. Um but I caught a few Pokemon while I was there. Caught a Skiddo and named it Sengoku's goat. I also
That's awesome.
caught a Corvus Squire, named it
Nice.
Karasu.
Nice.
Caught a Flomantis, named it Morlon. And a Shroomish that I named Onion.
That's a
And
good name for a shroomish.
yes, it is. It instantly came into my head, and luckily there's a One Piece character named Onion. But yeah, and after a couple more battles, that brought me to the point of being ambushed by this funky Akui clan.
All right, Dad. Do you recall your forest adventure?
um, some. I remember the ambushes, which was kind of nuts. Got through it okay. Um, I'm trying to think. I think it was at that point that Fennekin and my Eevee both evolved. Not at the same time, but around in that general time. So at this point, um, my Fennekin is a Delphox,
Nice.
and then my Eevee evolved into Leafeon. Leafeon.
Nice. You find a grass stone somewhere?
Must have been another cheat. I don't know.
Oh,
It's amazing
interesting.
that Dad is getting all these cheeks, but
Right?
I know, right? I must have found
Dude,
a
it really sounded like really sounded like you said Dad's getting all these cheeks, which also would be hilarious and awesome.
I
But
mean, well, he is Dad.
I mean, you don't have all
yeah,
those kids without. But anyway,
right.
Right.
um,
Got
But
like
look at
at
the
least
level of cheats that he got. His
yeah.
Finnegan evolved into Dale Fox instead of Brixton.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think if I remember
that's the
right,
final form.
his Fennekin evolved in the first episode.
Oh, did it?
Because
I don't even remember.
I remember him saying that because we were both like, "Oh, dang." He's like,
Oh yeah,
"Yeah, I
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
walked
He
that's
around
did
right.
a
say that
ton
evolved,
because
yeah.
I didn't know where to go, so I was
Okay,
just battling
so
a ton of wild pokes."
yeah, it's a Delphox now.
Dang, dude. Nice.
Right.
I'm
But
trying to
yeah,
think.
Eevee traditionally, again, with this being a fan game, they could change things up. But to get Leafeon, Glaceon, Flareon, Jolteon, or Vaporeon, you would use the associated elemental stones: grass, ice, fire, thunder, water. Um, so that would be interesting if Eevee evolved into Leafeon without using a grass stone.
Yeah, I don't remember doing that. I mean, it could have happened. Um,
You know what? They were saying that the forest gives grass powers. So what if it's a case that the fact that it leveled up and evolved in the forest is what made it go into Leafeon?
that
Bro,
could be.
that would literally be the sickest thing ever.
Yes, it would be.
um,
I'm not even joking. That would be like one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I swear to God, because I
that would be sweet.
I thought it would just work for their clan, but the fact that we was getting heals off of it as well, and my Grovile got boosted, I was
Oh,
like, yeah, I like this forest.
yeah.
That's a great point. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Dad.
You're
You
good.
want to wrap
I'm
up?
trying to remember. There's some. There was a part of this leg that I just caught so many Pokemon. Um, I caught a Makuhita. I'm butchering these names. I know it. Makuhita.
Yeah, Makuhita.
Makuhita. Okay.
Oh, cute little pudgy sumo wrestler guy.
Yeah. And he evolves to
Hariyama.
Hariyama. So he evolved.
Nice.
I'm trying to go through my journal. I don't know if anything else evolved, but I caught a Larvesta. No, I traded my Riolu for
Nice.
Larvesta. That's what
Yes.
I did before I went down to the forest.
There you go.
Who
Are
is
you
pretty freaking rad.
is Larvesta on the squad?
Yes.
Nice. Nice little firebug. Love that guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I caught a Shinx
Nice. Nice.
who evolved to Luxray. Well,
Eventually.
yeah. Who is really cool too. I do like the dog types.
I'm noticing you're a fan of the quadrupeds.
And I also caught Minccino, who I remember naming Encino after Encino Man, which is totally random and out from left field.
That
Steenie.
tracks for you.
It does. It does. A Steenie. Caught one of those.
Okay.
A Ralts.
Ralts, yes.
Who is now Curlia.
Nice.
And I think I named him, her, whatever, Scaredy B, like Scardy B, like
Cardi
something
B.
like Cardi B. There's no rhyme or reason to my naming. It just happens.
Nice.
So I think that's pretty much it. I did spend a little bit of time in there
Nice.
trying to catch some more stuff.
Kumino, you want to walk us through the ambush here?
Okay. So once you get about, I want to say it's about halfway through the forest, Shizen Forest, the Akuai Kenshin, it just, like Mike said, jumps out of the top of the tree to strike you when they least expect it. They paralyze you to start off the battle, so that sucks. But apparently, a hit was placed out on you, and it was there to steal your Pokemon. But after you beat them, they flee, saying that they will get their revenge. So that's a little bit of foreshadowing to what's going to happen later down the line when you get to the actual village.
Yeah, the clan techniques are so cool. So this one was the shock kunai, which, like you said, paralyzes your lead Pokemon. And this clan member had a Roselia, a Krogunk, and a Shadow Torracat, which I don't know about you
Oh
guys.
wow! Okay, so it's based off of your starter.
Is it? Okay, so I caught the Torracat, obviously. What was your Shadow?
Mine was Chrono.
Okay. What
And I
about
did
you?
not catch it. Togetic killed it.
Oh no. Dad, do you by chance remember what the Shadow Poke was here?
No, but I want to say I killed mine too, or killed that one.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped to get a Torracat.
So
Yeah,
I'm trying to think what would have been the next gen that it would have been, because Crawdon is generation 2. Torcat is generation 7.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm really curious as to what Dad's would have been. Sorry, Wild Breeze. I'm muting my mic real quick.
okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
I don't remember.
So Mike's Pokemon is from generation 5. Dad's Pokemon is from generation 6. Mine is from generation 3.
So what's it based on? Just
that's what I'm trying to think. Like,
oh.
would it, being that you like, it's weak to our starter, so I'm thinking it must have been like a Ivysaur.
Yeah, I wonder. Yours must have been. It would have had to have been a grass type. That's for sure. But I think it's really cool that they that this Shadow Pokemon is another starting Pokemon that you can catch. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after this ambush, we dispatch the clan member. Of course, no problem, because we're elite Pokemon trainers, right, guys?
That's right. We are
Okay.
elite Kenshin.
That's right. So we finish making our way through the forest. Again, still battling many trainers, because it's like there's a trainer every 5 steps. But we finally make it to Tsuchi Village, which is nice because I really needed that bathhouse. So upon arrival at Tsuchi Village, I was like, you know what? That Impidimp just still like fresh on my mind. It's just burning away. It's like I need to add this to my team. So unfortunately, I had to switch out Bartu, my Pancham, because again, I'm aiming for that fighting type in Gallade, and will be acquiring the dark type with the Impidimp line. So my Pancham that is going to be fighting dark. So it's just we're overlapping types. So that's how I decided Bartu was the one to go. But Akita made it onto the squad, and I was super, super excited to use it. However, it was it wasn't much lower level than the rest of my team by the time we got through the forest because of all the trainers, but it was still a few levels under leveled compared to the rest of my team. So I had a little catching up to do. But a few notable things that are in Tsuchi Village that I thought were pretty cool. You have the home of the Jam Master. I don't know if you guys explored. Every time I go into a town, I
Yeah,
go into
I
all the
have to
buildings, talk
explore.
to all the trainers. I got to figure out what's going on. So we have the Jam Master's house here, which this dude can turn berries into healing jams, which is kind of nice. He offers uh, 5 berries to make one healing jam, 10 berries to make a super jam, and 15 berries or 5 citrus berries to make an ultra jam. The jams, of course, provide, a little bit higher healing amount than the amount of berries that you're converting. So that's cool. I at this point had accumulated quite a few berries. I didn't do many conversions, but I have you guys been picking a lot of berries? Because I've been picking a ton of berries. Seems like there's a lot of berries,
Yeah,
which is nice.
a mediocre amount, I'd say.
Yeah, what he said. Like I pick them
I don't ever
and
replant them
use them.
though.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't replanted any. I just been
Yeah,
picking them, slapping them on the team members so they can heal when they get too low.
yeah. There's also a stylist here, which is nice.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
I
groom
did
your
that.
Pokemon, which increases its happiness, helps out with those happiness evolutions. Not that you need any help if you just buy the noodles. Um, the dude that's hanging out by the Ho-Oh statue in town, if you talk to him, he talks about purifying shadow Pokemon, and if you purify 10, come let him know. He'll give you a reward. So keep that, put a little pin in that. So, uh, we remember to go check out that reward. And then we find out, because we're here in Tsuchi Village to speak with the Komorei Clan Leader. So we head over to the west side of the village, and that is where the dojo is. And you go to get in, and you can't because the dude's like, "Oh, yeah, to be able
I
to
need leaves.
to pass the test and get in the dojo, you need to collect 5 leaves throughout the city."
Well,
Which
actually, no. Before
okay,
that,
okay,
actually,
good.
what he says is he recommends you go to the shrine because that's where you will find the leader of the clan there.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah. So, um, essentially sending you on not a wild goose chase, but sending you to stop what's going on because you're thinking that they're just at the shrine, but you got to go there and continue your epic story of becoming the ultimate. Wait, no, not the ultimate. What is it called? The royal Kenshi. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, no. Okay, so we do find the leaves first, and when we go back, we're like, he's like, "All right, cool, thank you for the leaves."
But
However,
then you got to do this.
the clan leader is over at the shrine, so you should
Well,
head over there.
because when you first go over to that area, there's 2 people guarding it.
Yeah, blocking the shrine. Yeah, yeah. Um, and while you're going throughout the city to collect these leaves, when you go to the southern part of the village, that's like down just a narrow path, and then there's just
I'm looking
a
up.
square opening there. There's a couple clan members who are just like kind of complaining about the clan leader's leadership, or should I say lack thereof. Um, and so that's just kind of something to note. Um, but also, one of the leaves is in the library, and when you go in there, you run into Suku. uh, who I believe Suku is one of the characters in the sorting ceremony, right? I want to
Yes.
say that's where they're from. Uh, they were assigned to the Kanchu clan, which is the Bug clan, which is obviously the clan that I would be sorted into. So I was like, "Yo, what's up, dude? My man." But
Mikey, I'm starting to notice you think a lot of these female characters are dudes, man.
I just yeah, is this not a dude?
No, it's a chick.
Oh my gosh, dude! I do. I thought the main bad guy was a dude. It's definitely a woman.
I
Yeah.
thought my main character was a chick. I
Don't
think
you
it
get
looks like a chick.
don't you get to pick?
Yeah, you get to
You
pick.
do. I picked boy, but the dude looks like a chick.
Okay. So I'm not the only one. So there you go. Okay, so Suku,
Like, did I pick wrong?
she teaches us about the shadow Pokemon. So you kind of got like a brief description in chapter 1, but Suku goes into a little more detail. So they're created by removing the Pokemon's emotions, um, and this allows them to use undiscovered moves. But they can be purified, and to do that, you have to open the door to their hearts. And in
Yeah.
this, to do this, I should say, um, you use them in battles, or you can use items called scents on them.
Yeah.
And once their heart gauge is depleted, which like in-game mechanic is like a reverse experience bar. So the would-be experience bar is already full, and as you're depleting this gauge, that bar is getting less and less full. Once it's completely empty, you can then purify the shadow Pokemon at a relic stone, a shrine, or even an item, lucky flute. I forgot to write down the item. Maybe it's down here somewhere, but there's an item you can use. Regardless, you get this nice little crash course, and after you, again, like I said, after you gather all the leaves and take them back, you're pointed in the direction of the shrine, which is where the Komorei Clan Leader is said to be. So you head over there, and yeah, Kumino, could you lead us through the narrative part here within the shrine, and then afterwards we can kind of go through and talk about our Pokemon encounters and catches and things of that nature.
Okay, so after Suku makes a date with us to meet at the shrine, because
Oh
that's
yeah.
essentially what
That's
happens.
what I thought he was or she was a dude too. I was like, this is kind of, why is she acting so weird? Or why is he acting so weird? Like, aren't you a
Like, why am I
guy?
being hit on by this guy?
Like, I guess I'll walk with you.
But yeah, actually, you're right. You do find the leaves. I see it right here in my notes that you got to find the leaves before you do all that. Um, but yeah, upon arriving, you instantly discover that the Akui clan and their boss is there up to something because one of the Akui Kinshi challenges you to a battle. Uh,
Oh yeah.
and this Kinshi is named Koda. Yeah, Koda. And has a Stunky and a Wimpod that's a shadow Pokemon.
Yeah, I caught that
Yeah.
bad boy.
Unfortunately for me, I didn't catch the Wimpod. The Wimpod killed itself by going into hyper mode.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, I'm not having luck with catching shadow Pokemon. Um, but yeah, and after you beat them, they kind of say, like they don't care because the boss is gonna destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they just let you pass. So at that point, that's where you get to travel the pass up to the shrine, and you see uh Masashiro and the rest of the Kui clan members trying to, well, not trying, they succeed in messing with the shrine to summon Virizion.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, so
Virizion,
wild.
right? Virizion being the guardian of the forest,
Well,
They
they like
want.
grab you and like force you to
Oh
watch.
yeah,
they're
that
like,
part,
they're like,
which is
they're
crazy
just like
because
holding your head, like pointing your face, like you will watch,
right,
watch what happens.
Marshiro essentially just tells them grab you, and then like they all look at you, and it's like they got to decide amongst each other like who's gonna be the one to do it.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, they force you to watch as Marshiro turns Virizion into a shadow Pokemon using the Katana of Shadows, corrupt style Shadow Summoner,
Yeah,
um,
dude.
and which is kind of what we did at the tournament where our sword lit up and made us glow. It did the same thing for her, but it was a purple light instead.
Mm.
So yeah, but then Virizion shows up to try to defend the forest, along with the uh, Com- Komorei clan. Is that how you pronounce that?
Komori.
Komori.
Komori. Okay, the Komori clan. To try to stop, but the Akui clan, they essentially say Mashiro talks down on Harumi. Is her name? I think
Yep,
Harumi.
yep, yep.
Yeah, just talks down on her completely. So much so where like she doesn't have confidence in herself is what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
her first and second clan members, I'm assuming they like left and right hand assistants or something of that nature. They say chase after the Kui clan after they run off into the cave to try to do something in the cave, and Harui tells you to fight off Virizion.
Yes. So
And
basically, everyone leaves you.
right, everyone
Yeah,
leaves you to fight a legendary Pokemon all by yourself when
yeah,
you're just now starting off things. So that lets you know like she has no confidence in herself whatsoever, and she'll take help from wherever she can get it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Jeff, that's the wild thing. Virizion is a legendary Pokemon. So
I
um
figured it was important.
yeah, so and in the lore of the game, right? It's a guardian of the region. Um so the fact that Mashiro just summons it and turns it into a shadow Pokemon. First off, just that she turns it into a shadow Pokemon, but that is like seemingly so easy that she was able to do that is pretty crazy.
Right, like how she
So
did OP.
yeah,
Mhm.
so this happens, and of course, we fight the Virizion, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be able to catch this already. But no, we cannot. Its soul is locked away, so we just
Yep.
had to fight it and defeat it. It was pretty epic. I defeated, or we defeated it, and it appears that cleansed it and it ran away. At least that's kind of like what I interpreted happening there. But yeah, this whole narrative tidbit was really really cool, and kind of like Kumino said, Harumi is like hesitant and timid, so much so that when Mashiro and the Kui clan escape to the cave, like Komori clansmen are like, oh, we got to go follow them, and they kind of like lead the charge, and Harumi is just like not knowing what to do. It seems like
Yeah, she
so
seemed
it
just
kind of
completely lost.
yeah, so it kind of builds on to that conversation you saw earlier when you're collecting
About
those leaves of the
the
clansmen, being like,
leadership.
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of cool little character building thing there. But on the way to the shrine before this confrontation with Mashiro, there are two other Akui clan members that we fight. And I just want to note them because they also had shadow Pokemon that we could catch. Um, the second trainer had a shadow Togetic, which I caught. Togetic. It KO'd three of my team though before I was able to catch it.
Oh,
By the way, which
yeah,
was
dude.
kind of rude. Um,
These shadow Pokemon are brutal.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
they
then
are.
the third trainer actually led with a Shadow Goldeen, which was interesting, I thought, because all the other battles with Shadow Pokemon, they had been like the ace, right? The last Pokemon to come out.
Yeah.
This one was the first one, which I was like, oh man, that's crazy. But I caught that one too. So I'm like 100% on my Shadow Pokemon catches.
Congratulations.
Dude,
Yep,
I didn't
yep, yep.
even try. Like it totally like
Bruh,
escaped my mind.
bruh.
Like I know I'm gonna from here on out.
Come on,
I'm
bruh.
gonna try to catch them.
Come on.
Well, so again, big news. Decided it didn't like another Togetic being around, so it murdered this Togetic.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said big news, I forgot that it was the name of your Pokemon. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, what's the big news?
Was waiting for like
It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's just a One Piece character that's a newspaper editor, well, director,
Oh, nice.
named Big News Morgans. So since it's a girl, I just called it Big News instead of calling it Big News Morgan.
That's awesome.
nice.
Um,
But
but yes,
the Godine, the Godine, I didn't have any more balls.
yeah, you hate to see it.
You hate when that happens.
Yeah, so one day I'm gonna catch a shadow Pokemon. I swear.
Hey, I believe in you.
Well,
Man.
hey, there's 4 more chapters, so I think you'll have plenty of opportunity. So yeah, after this happens, we head into the cave to help Harumi and the Komorei clan deal with Mashiro and the rest of the Akui scum. So once we get in there, we actually battle Mashiro, which was a pretty cool, intense battle here. Mashiro's team's actually nothing to scoff at.
Yeah,
First
it was a
off,
full 6-on-6.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
That was rough.
So Mashiro, first off, her like kunai trainer or clan technique or whatever is toxic. So she puts down toxic spikes, which holy cow,
Yeah.
dude, so annoying. Because one thing with toxic, the ability, the move toxic is the poison damage like compounds.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
So each turn, the amount of poison damage done grows. So the longer you have a Pokemon in battle that is poisoned by toxic, so I only know this because I had to use this strategy in Ultra Sun in a battle against like Necrozma. Yeah, I think it does like 1/16 of your total HP and then grows from there. So by like turn 5 or 6, it's taking like 20% of your health bar. Keep
Does
that in
it
mind.
stay the whole time?
Yeah, it
I thought
stays the
some of
whole
the,
time.
You gotta
Okay.
use an item to cure poisoning.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind because it comes into play in my battle story. But her team, she has a Corellia, a Steny, an Inkay, which I really want to use Inkay really bad. Espeon, Lipard, and a Shadow Ninetales. Very hard battle for me.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. This was crazy.
I
Right.
almost
Also, we're not
lost.
allowed to catch her Pokemon.
No, we can't
Right.
because I was like, "Oh, Shadow Ninetales, you're mine," but you cannot do that, which made me very sad. But yeah, so I almost lost, but luckily I had a bunch of like healing items because I was down to one Pokemon. It got poisoned, and didn't write down what Pokemon I used here for Ninetales, but whatever one it was, it didn't do much damage to it. So it was my Pokemon was poisoned for so many turns that it was doing such ridiculous poison damage to me, and I just had to like battle of attrition it out by healing myself. And like it lasted so long that the what's it called, Kumino, and the shadow Pokemon hurt themselves, hyper mode or
Yeah,
whatever.
hyper mode. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like a combination of hyper mode and the little damage my Pokemon was able to do to it, and me just constantly full healing myself. It took forever, but eventually I was able to get it. But Dad, how do you recall your battle here with Mashiro?
This was really rough. The poison got me. I'm pretty sure I my whole team fainted. Showed back up to the hot springs. Um, there were a few times that we hoofed it to the hot springs after some battles. Um,
That look on his face is of PTSD.
Yes, you're bringing back some big like Jared season 1 Skarmory lemon pepper vibes right now with your facial expressions.
it was rough. I mean, I think I actually went back and switched out some of my team, and then ran through the forest to level them up as much as I could. Um,
Nice.
and I went back at it and ended up winning the second time. But yeah, that poison is brutal.
I
Like
know.
it like well, and you go to like heal the poison,
Mm-hmm.
and it hits you again
Yep.
and again and again. You just got to ride it out,
Yeah,
and hopefully you get some good crits in there.
toxic spikes is brutal because whenever a new Pokemon enters the battlefield, it gets poisoned right away.
Yep.
However, my Corvisquire, it's not Corviknight yet, so I can't call it that. My Corvisquire uh, was not affected by the toxic spikes, which was very
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
But anyways, Kumino, your battle with Mashiro.
Okay, well, clearly y'all just got lucky because y'all only got to experience the toxic spikes.
Oh
Um,
no.
for me, she went way beyond and she lived up to being disrespectful. She started with the toxic spikes. When I knocked out the Curlier, she hit me with poison kunai. Then when I knocked out the Espeon, she hit Grovyle with um, the paralyzing kunai.
Oh.
Then she came back with the toxic kunai. So like you, Mike, I was down to my last, and for some odd reason, I guess it was because I was very disrespected by her and angry. I wasn't thinking. But my last Pokemon was my Cutie Fly, not affected by any of this. And Cutie Fly banged out her Steenie, her Liepard, and the Ninetales.
Wow.
Yeah, we got roughed up.
That fairy type poison resistance comes in clutch.
Well, actually, no, Fairy is weak to poison.
Oh yeah, you're right. Why?
It
Oh wait, is it because it's like flying? It's not affected
Yeah,
by spikes. That's right. That's right. I'm thinking steel's resistant to poison.
yeah, and it was just,
Um,
I guess maybe she was out of Kunai. Yeah, matter of fact, she actually said that dialogue in the battle that I'm out of Kunai.
you know what?
Yeah.
I I'm sure that there were more than just the toxic kunai um, in my battle, but that one was particularly scarring, so that was the one that I wrote down. But after we beat Mashiro, she tries to escape,
I
but
thought it was a dude.
right, but Harumi sends out her victory bell that wraps him up or her up. Sorry, in my notes is before I discovered it was a female. Apologies, but yeah, I thought it was cool that Harumi sends out her victory bell, and victory bell like kind of ties ties Mashiro up,
Right.
and
And Harumi just has this
right,
moment of
yes,
triumph. Well,
confidence,
not triumph, but just a complete turnaround that you
yes,
feel good for. That she starts to stand up and actually showcase being what the leader of the village is actually supposed to be like.
yes. She definitely exactly has a moment of growth, asserts her dominance, and takes Mashiro to the Shogun, which is awesome. Um, and in my notes here, after 3 pages, it says in parentheses, and thanks to the dialogue, I just learned that Mashiro is a chick. So, but yeah, so that kind of takes us through the Tsuchi Shrine, because after this, we head back to the village. But before we go back to the village and hit up the Komorei Dojo, uh, I a couple cool encounters here. Oranguru and Passimian. I didn't catch either of them, but I think they're cool little monkey Pokemon. Oranguru, I really want to try to use. It's normal psychic, right? It's
Yes.
definitely psychic, but I think it also has that normal typing in there. And then Passimian is fighting. Is it also normal? Or is it just fighting?
I want to say it is normal fighting because like they're
They're like
version
counterparts,
exclusive.
right?
Yeah, version exclusive
Yeah.
counterparts of each other.
Yeah, really cool looking Pokemon. But I didn't catch either, so neither of them made it on to the team. But here, after dealing with Mashiro and Verizian and at the shrine, I decided to figure out how exactly Shadow Purifying worked, because remember, I have my Shadow Torracat and all the other Shadow Pokemon I've been catching. But I went back to Hagain Village, or Hagain Town, city. That's the one. And bought 10 jelly donuts, which heals 120 health, which is nice. But it also is the highest shadow reduction in a healing item. So bought 10 of those. And it only took 3 donuts to cleanse Torracat before it was able
Wow.
to be purified. So
Nice.
I found out that like the happiness noodles, it doesn't take a lot. It does not take a lot of these items to do this, which is honestly kind of cool, because as much as Jeff, I was telling you this over chat the other day, that like grinding in Pokemon is one of my favorite things to do. A lot of people don't like doing it, but I find the repetition of it like oddly relaxing and fun. But some aspects of grinding are very annoying, and I feel like
Yeah.
the shadow grinding probably would have been that. So it's nice to have those donuts to do. But after I cleansed my Torracat, I found out that I have to actually you have to beat the Komori dojo before you can go through with the purification process. So wasn't able to purify Torracat yet. But do you guys have anything in particular you want to talk about before the Komori dojo? After the, I have a lot of post chapter 2 stuff to talk about after the dojo, but do you guys want to go through the dojo first and then finish with things we caught and stuff?
Yeah, let's do the dojo first, if you're cool with that coming up.
Yeah, I'm down for the dojo.
All right, so we head over to the dojo now. We can get in, and the dojo is like the gym of Pokemon Bushido, which very cool. You still have that kind of like gym leader battle. Um, so you go in. There's a couple floors, 2 trainers, and then the battle with Harumi. The first Kenshi had a Fomantis, Oranguru, and Whirlipede. The second Kenshi had Whimsicott, Passimian, and Lilligant. Um, Pretty easy fights, honestly, because I have my Corvisquire and my Litleo, so these grass types not an issue.
Oh
Um,
yeah, burned all of them.
yeah, and then Harumi, the clan leader, really cool fight. she has well, first she says something about it being a fair fight, and then immediately with her technique raises her Servine's attack, special
Yep.
defense
Yep.
before it even starts. Like, oh yeah, okay, so much for that fair fight, huh?
No, fair fight.
But she has a team of 6, which again, very nice to see, like these important battles being full 6-on-6 battles. Something
Which
that
some of these battles, man, when I saw the 6
Mhm.
balls lit up, I'm like, oh man, it's about to get rowdy. And most of the time, it has been freaking rowdy.
Yeah, it's a very nice change up from the main main official Pokemon games. You usually don't get full teams of 6 until very late in the game. Yeah, so Harumi has Servine, Ludicolo, Victory Bell, Breloom, Roserade, and Cherim, ranging from levels 27 to 29. So that's about where we're going to be ending Chapter 2, right around that
Right.
30. Well, you guys with your crazy leveling, probably way over 30. But us normal people who aren't leveling psychos, probably going to end around 30. But yeah, again, Harumi, pretty easy battle for me because of Corvusquire and Litleo. But Kumino, what'd you think of the dojo? How it's kind of like a gym replacement. The battle with Harumi itself, like, what'd you think here?
The dojo, excellent, because a lot of people play Pokemon solely for the gym battles.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's their main purpose is to follow in the footsteps of Ash Ketchum. So to add this kind of function in, I can appreciate it. But the battle with her, it was breezy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much just one shot her whole entire team. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, she tried. That's what I can say. She tried.
She did
But
try.
like, it was okay. It was okay. It felt good to have a gym battle.
Yeah, it really did. Dad, any recollection of this battle?
Yeah, it went pretty quick for me as well. I mean,
Yeah, he burnt down the whole dojo.
I burn it all down. I mean, by that time, my Delphox, or was a Delphox, my Fennekin was a Delphox, level 36.
Oh wow, yeah,
Wow.
you're crazy.
Yeah, it destroyed most everything in one
He burnt
hit.
down the whole town.
I
Like
did.
he is banned from the village.
I got a little crazy. I got a little carried away. I'm like, I'm about to show these people what's up.
Nice.
I don't. I think I did. I think I cycled between Saul, mm, my my Luxray, which I think is a female, isn't it?
Could be.
I don't know, but I named him or her Shinchu, which was fitting.
Nice.
Um,
If for those of you who don't know, I was streaming Ultra Moon a while back, probably like a year ago, and I let my chat name help me pick my Pokemon names, and I was being trolled, and they made me name every Pokemon
what?
Pikachu or some version of Pikachu or a combination of the Pokemon's name and Pikachu. So
Which is what I was trying to get you to do, and you never did it.
yeah, because it was a terrible idea.
No, it wasn't. If I could have named Soul,
It was
it would have been
awesome and
Soul Chew.
funny.
Yeah, no, it was pretty great. Love being trolled by you guys.
I'm trying to think, and we can keep talking about more about the dojo, but there's some other Pokemon that I encountered that we haven't talked about. I was wondering if you guys encountered them as well.
Oh yeah, we'll get into encounters after this because I have a whole like post chapter 2 tirade that I'm excited to talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, just again, the music and like important battle like intros with the trainer cards like flashing across the screen are super super cool. And one thing that I had noted at the very top that I glossed over, um, some of the music in this game, specifically some of the battle music, um, reminds me of the music from Pokemon Conquest. For anyone who may or may not have ever played Pokemon Conquest, it's an official Pokemon game, 3DS, turn-based tactics style game. Super fun. Also had some cool music, but some of the battle music in this reminds me of Conquest music. Um, but it after the Harumi battle, my Gyozin, my Toxel evolved into Toxtricity,
Nice.
which I
Mhm.
have the cool looking Toxtricity, the hyped up or amped up, whichever version that is. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it's a cool looking Toxtricity. It learns Spark, which is nice. So I have a more powerful electric move other than Nuzzle. And after this battle, we learn Solid Strike with the katana, which, as we joked
Mhm.
about in chapter one, allows us to chop the rocks in half and move them out of our ways, replacing Rock Smash. Um, After that, we are told that we need to go to Hanatsu Village, and when we leave the dojo, Suku is waiting for us outside, takes us to the shrine to purify our shadow Pokemon for the first time,
Mhm.
and she gives us the light flute. So I was right, which can completely remove the shadows around a Pokemon's heart, but can only be used once. So I'm assuming maybe we get more of these in the future. Uh, I am not certain of that, but before we do the purification, we are challenged to a battle, and Suku is rocking a villain, a Levani, a Snom, shout out, um, and a Ninjask. And yeah, I won. Did you guys win?
Yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure your Corvus Squire beat the mess out of her thing.
Yeah, the one thing that I thought was interesting, the villain knew Draining Kiss and Psybeam, which are kind of cool moves for a villain to know. The Levani two-shot my Gallade, so apparently another thing that happened in this chapter that I did not note is routes evolved into Corellia and then evolved into Gallade, which is nice.
Right, nice.
Um, but yeah, after this battle, before I stopped, because after this battle is the end of the chapter. Um,
Mhm.
I purified my Torracat, which, of course, I used the jelly donuts to deplete the shadow gauge. I named it Kojiro, and my dude has perfect IVs
Are
all
you
across the
serious?
board.
What?
HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed, all 31. So I don't know if this is like,
Wow.
What?
I don't know if this is like
Talk about cheaters,
right.
man.
I'm
What
trying
the
to
Um,
heck?
tell you.
I don't know if this is like a shadow Pokemon thing. This is the first one that I purified. I don't know if either of you guys purified or if you did decided to randomly check the IVs of your Pokemon, but I'm interested to see
I'm about to check
as
now.
I continue to purify Pokemon if just shadow Pokemon are perfect IVs or if this was just an anomaly. Um, but yes.
No, I gotta load up now. Just saying.
For real.
um, this ends chapter 2 here, and we need to we're told to head to Hanatsu Village, which we need to go through the Jonetsu Pass, which is north of Hagane City. So that's where officially chapter 2 ends. However, like I said, I finished up maybe a week or just shy of a week away from tonight, our recording night. So at the end of chapter 2, I was like so pumped and like having so much fun with this. I was like, I want to keep playing. I have all these Pokemon in my Talonflame's belly that like I really want to use. I'm really sad that I can't have more than 6 Pokemon on my team. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make I'm gonna make an alternate team, and I'm just gonna grind all these my alternate team up to level 30. So I did this for 2 teams because I'm a psycho. So I have 2 alternate teams. I also decided to do some evolution stuff for my team, my main team. So I flew back to Hagane City, bought a Dawnstone, evolved Kenji into Gallade at level 23. It learned Slash when it evolved. Akita, my Impidimp, doesn't evolve until level 32 in its final form at 42, so it did not evolve. Nala, my Litleo, did not evolve because it does not evolve until level 35. Gyozin, like I said, evolved it, and it is in amped form because it has the sassy nature. And Jinroku, my Corvisquire, does not evolve until level 38. So that was my main team. My first alternate team, I decided to make with Togepi, Wimpod, Galarian Slowpoke, Galarian Farfetch'd, and Shroomish. And then I added Riolu as the 6th Pokemon. So leveled all of them up to level 30, and now my alternate team is Togekiss, Golisopod, Lucario, Breloom, and Surfetched. So, yeah, pretty hyped about that. Especially the Golisopod. So Wimpod evolves into Golisopod. It's a water bug type, and I named it Godzilla because it just looks amazing. Togepi, of course, the name or Togekiss is named Seal. Riolu named Genghis. My Shroomish named Cross, and my Farfetch named Ichiro. My second alternate team, I filled it up with my Larvesta that I traded for named Soul. I put my Tyrogue named Amura back on the squad. Pichu named Kazumasa. My Absol named Moon. Rockruff named Dogshin. And Torracat named Kojiro. Larvesta does not evolve this quick, so it is level 30 as Larvesta. Tyrogue evolved into Hitmonchan at level 20, which is kind of cool. Pichu did not evolve yet. Absol does not evolve. My Rockruff kept trying to evolve, but I really want the Midnight form because I'm like a huge Edgelord guy. So it kept trying to evolve into like the midday form, so I kept canceling it. I'm going to wait until nighttime to evolve it. And then Torracat did not evolve because it's only level 30. So that was kind of my post chapter 2 grind fest. I also caught a Solosis and named it Norio because Solosis is kind of cool. I ended chapter 2 with my Duat Ghost Gen, my Gallade named Kenji, Toxtricity named Gyozin, Corvisquire named Jinroku, Litleo named Nala, and Impidimp named Akita. So that was it for me. Kumino, did you do anything after chapter 2 ended? And let us know what your final team was after chapter 2.
After chapter 2, I did nothing. I'm standing in the same spot where CNC left me, because I was so flabbergasted that she like they went out of their way to say that this girl has a crush on us. But I mean, this chapter I actually didn't really do too much catching anyway. You know, like
Okay.
I mainly focused on trying to kind of build up a team that I wanted to use. And so everybody that I have is somebody that I want on the team. But going back to what you said about the Torracat, I'm assuming that has to be a shadow Pokemon thing.
Okay.
But I will say that I'm noticing the Pokemon that I use the noodles on,
Hmm.
they have high IVs. Like Paul's has 31 in HP and attack and special attack and speed.
Oh wow,
Right.
Wow.
While Togetic Big News has it in HP, defense, special attack, and speed.
dang dude,
Yeah, and Yokozuna has it in HP, special attack.
nice. Yeah,
Nice.
those are some strong pokes.
Right. But I ended with Zoro the Grovyle at level 33, ability Overgrow. Paul's Lucario at level 33 with Inner Focus. Big News Togetic at level 32 with Serene Grace. Leo the Rabombi because it evolved into Rabombi after the dojo battle. Yeah, level 30 with Honey Gather. Krieg the Galarian Slowpoke, level 30 with Regenerator. And Yokozuna the Frogadier with another hidden ability, Protein.
What's protein do?
Protein changes your Pokemon to the type of move that you are using.
What?
Yes, and
That is sick.
it has Gen 6 protein, not Gen 7 protein where they made it where it was only just one move. Like if you use flying, it's only a flying type. No, it's Gen 6 protein where whatever move you decide to use, it changes to that type. So you in your one battle, you can use a flying type move, it becomes a flying type. You use a dark type, it becomes a dark type, poison
Wow.
type. Love it. Love
That's
it.
sick.
I probably should have mentioned that earlier because that was one of the things that I was enjoying
Oh
about it. But
Yeah,
man.
that's pretty awesome because you get that extra,
yeah,
damage boost for
always
the.
hitting for stab. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Very solid team. Dad, did you do any
Yes.
post chapter 2 shenanigans? What was your final team, and what were the Pokemon you were curious that whether or not we encountered?
So after all that, I ended up running back to see, well, to check my journal so I could talk about some of these Pokemon. Just because I was curious which ones I had encountered. But that was about it. That's all I did. My final team, well, my current team that I'm rolling with now, I've got Sekiro, which is my Delphox at level 36, who's just burning everything down to the ground. Um, so the Hariyama,
Mm-hmm.
I named it Margarita for some reason. Its level is 33. Um, Charlie, my Leafeon is level 34. My let's see, Scardy B, my Curlia is at 29. Saul is at 34. And my Luxray, who I named Shinchu, is at level 31. Which that actually kind of sounds like a samurai name,
It does
Shinchu.
actually. That one worked out well.
Um, some of the others, let's see. I didn't really see. So I wanted to do like a B team,
Mm-hmm.
um, but then I just kind of blended the ones that I liked or thought that would make a good fit. Um, so let's see some of the other ones. Let's see, hold on.
That's okay. I'm really hoping that the Pichu I got, like with these regional forms, I really hope that it evolves into a Alolan Raichu. I have
Mm,
no like supporting evidence that it will evolve into an Alolan Raichu, but I really hope that it does because I love Alolan Raichu.
So yeah, that sounds pretty sick. I want to put Pichu back on my team, but she's very weak.
Yeah.
So here, I did want to ask you guys. So of all the typings that I have on my team, so I've got Fire Psychic, which is my Delphox. My Hariyama is a fighter. Leafeon's grass. Corellia is Psychic Fairy. Larvesta is Bug and Fire. Luxray is Electric. Um, do you feel like that's pretty well balanced, or do you think that? I mean, I don't. It's just kind of trial by error or trial by fire at this point. I don't know if I should maybe switch it up a little bit differently, or I mean, it's working. I just didn't know if you guys had any tips for me.
As a non-competitive player, when I build my teams, I just try to have like a good spread of types on my team that don't overlap. So like having two fighting types or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
While being able to learn again another good spread of type moves, so that way I can try to cover as many opponent weaknesses as possible,
Right.
if that makes sense. But really, it just comes down to like what you enjoy using. You know what I mean? Like there are some Pokemon that I just really despise, like actually using, so I won't put those on the team. But
So I'm really surprised. I really love grass.
yeah,
Um,
it's because you're becoming a man. You're growing up.
I guess so. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like Leafeon has some pretty sick attacks, man. Razor Leaf and Magical Leaf.
All
Yeah,
the
dude,
Leafs.
all the leaves. All right. So yeah, some of the Pokemon that we didn't really talk about, or I didn't hear you say anything about. Skeeto. Did you guys talk about Skeeto?
Yeah, I called a Skiddo. That's the one that I named
Okay, Skeeto.
Sengoku's goat.
Gotcha.
It's a great name.
That's right. That's right. What about? I'm pretty sure someone talked about Corvusquire.
Yeah, I got one on my team.
Okay. Yeah.
I love Corviknight.
He
Final evolution.
looks sick. I fought one, and I think there was one like kind of like doing laps in the jungle or in the woods when we were going through.
Yeah,
Did you guys?
I think you're right.
Um, there is a poniard.
What? Where did you run
Yeah,
into that?
I don't know, but I caught him.
Nice, dude.
It was
Dark Steel. Very cool
hold on,
type.
let me
Yes,
see. Because I seen it.
Super
I'm trying to think
to
did I
fighting.
catch it?
it was more towards the end of the run. I know that much.
No, but
Were
I
you
didn't
guys?
catch it. I was still out of balls because I spent all my money on miso instead of buying balls.
Ah,
You silly
I
goose.
I think I even let myself faint to go back and get some more balls because I there were so many in the forest. I'm like, man, these are some sweet Pokemon. Um, but yeah, I caught him. He's sweet.
That's a cool. It's
Um,
a cool one. Like Dark Steel. I
yeah,
like Steel types.
he slashed the crap out of me, man.
Its final evolution looks really cool too.
And then the last one was Whirlipede.
Okay,
I
yeah.
thought that it was a yeah, shadow Pokemon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Think I obviously counted if it was a shadow Pokemon. For being honest, no. Yeah. I'm happy to see where Chapter 3 leads. I'm also happy to get back into Chapter 3, but I'm gonna have to hold off for a little bit, so I don't finish up too soon. But Jeff,
Yeah. Yes.
second chapter into the Pokemon game, like how is
Um,
your crippling Pokemon addiction going at this point? Like how you feeling about Pokemon?
I I can control it. I can walk away anytime. It's fine. It's fine. Um, I'm surprised because I I would say my first Pokemon game ever was Fire Red, but I didn't even like get very far, and I was like not impressed.
Yeah,
And then I mean, and then we were talking about Pokemon Bushido, and this was I wanted to jump on and help, like just be a voice.
Mm.
I mean, even though I'm not much of one anyway, just to kind of whatever be available. Um, but I have like really fallen in love with this game and
Nice.
the world of Pokemon.
awesome. We gained another one.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of cool stuff in this game, and I'm glad I jumped on the boat.
Same. I'm very glad that you are playing this. I'm even more happy that you're enjoying it.
And it's kind of like spreading into other areas of Pokemon endeavors. So
Yeah.
it's exciting. Like it's just kind of gave life to this thing that I didn't know was there. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I would definitely recommend that you stick with the more uh newer games that have way more Pokemon that you can have access to,
Right.
as well as fan made games, because fan
Right.
made games are gonna have the passion and the heart that's gonna actually really draw you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I feel. Like so I played Fire Red first. It was meh. And then I played this. I'm like, wow, there's a lot in this. Like it's the same, right? It's like it's Pokemon, but it like there's more like involved. Like you can tell that there's just more passion in it.
Yeah.
Not just a cookie cutter game. Um, and then I even went back to Fire Red. I'm like, wow, yeah, there's such a huge difference.
Yeah, you're going to now eternally struggle playing an official Pokemon game.
Yeah,
Um which is both a blessing and a curse.
Hmm.
The thing that you can't even comprehend yet because of your lack of experience with official games
Hmm.
is what a lot of these fan games and ROM hacks really nail, and uh, what makes them so exciting right off the bat is the incredible Pokemon diversity
Hmm.
in your wild encounters, especially at the start of games.
Yeah.
Um, because man, you can catch a Riolu in the first route in this game, and like most first routes, you're catching like rats and pigeons, like
Yes.
terrible, like terrible Pokemon.
Well, that's like playing Fire Red. I'm like, I'm fighting rats. This is like the 50th rat tat, whatever. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with it.
Yeah, no, I mean like you get a Pancham on the first route, like that's awesome. Um,
Yeah. It's
and
exciting.
that definitely makes the games a lot more fun because you have such a variety of Pokemon right from the start of the game.
Hmm.
right.
But yeah,
And like you can pick out a solid team. Like my whole entire team come from the beginning of the game.
yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's pretty
like
sweet.
I have an A team, a B team, and a C team because like, I don't know who I did that simply because like what if I change my mind and I don't want to have to like level up a lot, you know? Now it'll just be a few levels if I decide to change my mind. But yeah, super happy, super excited for our listener stories. So make sure you leave a comment here on the YouTube video about your chapter 2 journey, or you can join our Discord and go down to the PokéBoys section, and you can tell us about your experience in chapter 2, your team, what you think of the story so far. Our Discord is a great place to join a community of people who really like to talk about Pokemon. And then you have all the other Showboy stuff in there too. Don't forget to head over to Twitch and Twitter and follow Kumino over there so you don't miss out on any of his streams. His links will be in the episode description. And I hope you're also tuning in to Showboys. Make sure you subscribe here to the YouTube channel and all that fun stuff. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time for Chapter 3 of Pokemon Bushido. Have
Peace.
a wonderful night.